What's going on, everybody? Real Talk with Rich is back in the building one more again. Welcome to a new edition, new season, whatever you want to call it. Real Talk with Rich. We back. New season, new shenanigans. Want to shout out to Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever fam. Want you guys to just come on in. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend, tell a hater, let everybody know that your boy is back in the saddle. And because I'm in the saddle tonight, you know what? My partner hit me up and said, yo, put me on, partner. I wanna hang out with you. So y'all gonna get a little bit of Black Comic Lords 1.0. And who am I talking about? No other than the founder, he who trolls, my man 100 grand, Herschel in the building. Bring him on. What's going on, bruh?
Man, not much, man. I said, hey, I gotta come back, hang out with Rich, man. Gotta come back out, hang out with Rich. And so we back in here, man. I'm excited for that, man. You got some dope topics.
Yeah. We gonna talk a little bit about this, a little bit of that. Want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat. That's Mawan. What's good with you? Brooklyn, I see you in the building. Bo B, as always, a pleasure. Glad you're here. You know what I'm saying? J.R. Carter, I'm sorry. Thank you for coming. And Mr. Mario from Bryson, thank you. Thank you guys for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Tell everybody we live tonight. And we're going to get into a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like I said. So, don't want to prolong the time. You know what I'm saying? Just want to jump right on in. And I've been gone a while. And so because I've been gone a while, I'm going to have to go back a little bit and talk about stuff that's been going on. So if it sounds dated, charge it to my head, not my heart. But the first thing, we just had a holiday. My brother, how was your holiday? Let me ask you about that.
I don't know how I want to answer this. I don't know if I want to be funny or just keep it a buck. So I guess I'll keep be funny. I guess you're talking about Juneteenth because I don't know what yesterday was.
Yeah, I'm talking about Juneteenth. We ain't talking about 4th of July.
So Juneteenth was cool, man. I appreciate the amount of love and attention it got. There was a lot of distractors that were like, well, we wasn't really free on Juneteenth, and they was right, and somebody was even saying New Jersey, it took another 20 years. I don't know nothing about that, but people were saying a lot of different things. But I'm just glad that Black people decided to go even harder this year. In the last couple of years, it's really picked up because it hasn't been a national holiday until I think the last year of Biden's administration, as far as government.
Yeah, the previous administration. Biden was the one that signed the bill or the proclamation that it will be a national holiday. Let me just give y'all some of my Juneteenth shenanigans. So, me, for being from Texas, first of all, Juneteenth's a big deal. So I saw a lot of cap on the internet about people celebrating Juneteenth and people saying that people in Texas shouldn't gatekeep. If you want to celebrate Juneteenth and you live in Idaho, I don't care. But please don't be capping over this, if anything, okay? So, but I will say this. I went from bank to bank watching people sit in the parking lot at banks on Juneteenth. I was working, unfortunately, but I saw people sitting they didn't realize that it was a federal holiday. Federal holiday, banks are closed. So I'm rolling up on a few essays. I was like, yo, how did bank close today? And we go, bank closed. You're like, what? They say bank closed, federal holiday is Juneteenth. So, it's a lot of people this year kind of caught on, but a lot of people still don't know. And it's all good, you know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things where a lot of people don't like Juneteenth, And look, if you don't think it's a real holiday, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But guess what? If we can get a day off, hang out with the fam, eat some barbecue, hang out with the elders, or whatever it is, whether it's Juneteenth or the 4th of July, it's all good. I will just simply say that that's our holiday. black folk, and you should own it. You should embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you went out and got you some Star Spangled Banner, red, white, and blue paints yesterday, and put your pork ribs on it, pop some.
That's okay too.
Listen. I'm not mad at you. You do what you gotta do, but don't.
We love to preach. Black people aren't a monolith.
I know. We say that all the time.
We love to say it, but then when they do it, it's like, oh, you're take that flag down. Like, look, man.
I don't understand that, Herschel. How are we gonna be on a monolith, and then the biggest thing we have a problem is being on code? How you be on code and not be a monolith?
Because everybody thinks they have the monopoly on what the code is. Everybody, or at least wants to, or want you to be. Everybody wants to have this hive-minded think when it comes to blackness, and it's very narrow. It's very, very. You go too far out, you're cool. Ooh, can't say that word. You go too far out, you're a C word. You don't go. You go this far, you're a hotel.
Yeah.
But it's weird, man. We are still trying to. We're still trying to really securely plant our flag on this blackness thing in this country. If you really think about what I just said, we're and you have different types of people say the flag's been planted, but you ain't like me, so I don't have to listen to you. And it's a mess. It's still a mess.
But I will say, shout out to the comic book community, because we had the Bitterroot cover with the Juneteenth flag on it, whatever. I think that's the first cover that has the Juneteenth flag on it.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But shout out to DC Comics, because DC Comics thought that they would throw. DC Comics thought they would put a post up. Derek, if you could show that post, that picture there, that was part of DC Comics post on Juneteenth, and that's the elder Opal Lee. Shout out to Fort Worth, Texas. Opal Lee is from Fort Worth, and she's the lady who was marching to DC for years, trying to get Juneteenth to become a federal holiday. And so they released that post and whatever. And while I could be shady I could be shady, or like my girl Angel say, it's a full forest. I would just simply say, y'all should have just gave us a comic book with Opal Lee in it. Y'all didn't think about that, DC? I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not going to get a comic book, but what do they typically do? They'll give you a cover with her on it.
Yeah.
If this isn't what this is just a post. But you know what though? Here, you already got me. I'm about to hit the switch right now. I don't care if DC does it or not. You know who I want to do this? The Black Independent Comics. That's who should be in the front of the line doing all this stuff. Period. Not saying that they never have. Not saying they never will. But I'll be more excited when they do something like this on Juneteenth. Period. I mean, DC and Marvel don't. We don't said it 1,000 times. They owe us nothing. I'm always gonna stand on. I'm always gonna plant my flag there. Like if they do, they do. They don't, they don't. But I want my Black Indians to do it, so I can go and buy it.
I will say this though. The interesting thing about that is that in order for that to happen, Herschel, and I mean, we might as well go there. In order for that to happen, we gotta look. We be having our foot on DC and Marvel's neck. When the truth be told, we need to start putting our foot on some of these Black independents' neck and say, hey, you want our dollars? We need y'all to come with it. And we need y'all to be, good at what you're doing, because this is art. This is a standard that has to be established. You know what I'm saying? And we want you to give the public a good product.
Well, that's sort of already kind of happened. I don't know if I can say.
I know. We need
right here. Shout out to Concrete Comics doing a homage. This is the Muhammad Ali underwater cover. I damn sure. I mean, this is Solar. So this is a Solar comic that came out back during Black History Month, and they were killing. And so Juneteenth was another opportunity that somebody could have did, but this is a comic that everybody should own, man. Like this is out of all of the covers they had, this was my number one. Rest of them was dope, but this was my number one. This is the Muhammad Ali underwater homage. So they could have absolutely done this for Opal Lee, doing something. I don't know, do a Storm homage, make it look like Storm or something. Throw on the cover, boom. I bought it.
No doubt. And I mean, again, we won't dope stuff. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one thing to like, okay, you're a creator, whatever, and you got some product for us, whatever. But we want it to be good. We want it to be something that pops and that we can talk about in more in detail. So yeah, but anyway, shout out to Opal Lee, shout out to DC Comics for doing that. You know, DC's been having an interesting 2026. So I just thought that when they dropped that, I didn't know if they were sincere or if they was trolling. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So anyway, speaking of shenanigans, you know, Herschel, social media is the most terrible invention in mankind's history. It's also one of the most great. It's one of the greatest when it works, but when it don't, you get stuff like this. Shout out to the Griot. Shout out to the Griot for actually trying to do something. I can't help but laugh. It's sad. It's really sad that here is Stephanie Williams, or somebody that they tried to say was Stephanie Williams, and they were trying to give her a shout out with her being, you know, nominated for Eisner. And they get this off the internet, off the, I guess, Shutterfly or whatever Google images that they just pulled. They just literally pulled a random black woman and said, this Stephanie. Now, I don't know who runs the Griot, but I think the Griot has been trashed for a minute. And I want to thank the Griot for confirming
that they trashed for that. But here's the thing. I will say this. They're late because this nomination, but they at least tried. However, I don't. My expectation for a lot of these publications, be it via black or white, isn't very high. There's other news outlets that I expect to get it right. So when somebody like the Griot does it wrong, people were outraged, people were disappointed, and they should be. But I don't expect people who never cover black comic books, black anything, like on that geeky, nerdy level to get this right. I don't even look. I look to the Black Comic Lords. I look to other. I rather look at comicbook.com than go over sometimes to some of these places that don't normally do this. So they heard about Stephanie Williams. Oh, we don't know what this is about. Eisner Awards. Okay, Stephanie Williams, type their name in, or did an AI thing. Somebody in the comment section said it was AI, and they just threw it up there. And somebody's not checking the messages because everybody was saying a zillion times, this is not Stephanie Williams. Maybe somebody emailed I'm pretty sure there's a writer that's attached to this article. If they actually did an article, I'm pretty sure they got emails, but they don't care because this is not what they cover.
Yeah, they screwed up royally with this, and you know, I think that it's telling about how in touch some of our media outlets are. Spaces like Black Comic Lords and others are important for that reason, because if the Black comic book community that supports Stephanie Williams is not aware, this literally just goes, you know, into the I guess the time scroll or whatever, and it disappears or whatever. But people have been talking about it. People have been making commentary on it, and you know, it's unfortunate that a space that's quote unquote supposed to be black, you know what I'm saying, that's supposed to have our interest at heart or whatever, that they would do something like this. You know what I'm saying? There has some and I get it, whether they chose AI to do it or whatever, but there has to be some kind of journalistic integrity to say, you know what,
An editor, somebody, maybe.
yeah, somebody had to know.
But here's what I will say. We gave this post airtime. We gave this post life by posting to show our disdain and our disgust for it. Okay, I'm not saying that was the right or wrong thing to do. But what if we would have saw this and buried it? Nobody liked it. Nobody said it. And then another Black publication went and did it right. And then we celebrated that. This never would have even been seen. This has been making rounds because it's shameful and because we want the griot, where certain individuals want the griot to do better. But I think we should have gave more life and more numbers and more time to the people who actually did it right. I like Angel's point. Griot gets no pass. Google has always been free, so shout out to her for that. And I agree with that. But what if we would have said, we're gonna turn the page. We're gonna let y'all do that over there with the people who don't even fool with us or comics and like that, and we're gonna give life to all the media outlets that got it right to re-celebrate Stephanie Williams. Whoop de whoop. That's what that probably, because guess what? Griot still got it wrong. It's been like 3 days later, and they don't care. They don't care.
They have not changed it whatsoever. And it's kind of sad that this particular outlet, who is big on Facebook, and let's just keep it a stack. Stephanie Williams saw this and she posted it on her page. Because it's kind of like, that's very, very insulting in the sense that if I'm doing work for you on your behalf, behind the people that actually buy or actually, support your page or whatever, you could at least create or a post where you get the image right. Because there's nothing to go and grab a post from another outlet or Google, as Angel said, and get the image right. This is unexcusable. Shout out to everybody that had an opinion. And here's the thing about the griot. A lot of people's message to the griot is do better. I'm be honest with you. Y'all have been worse for a minute. So doing better, I don't even see that in y'all future griot. And, I don't know who's actually running the griot. I'm hoping it's somebody stateside. It may be somebody in another country. We don't even know.
Taiwan, for all we know.
So, it's ridiculous. So anyway, man.
Angel says I have my Rotten Tomatoes ready. No, I mean, listen, like I said, there's people who are going to throw and throw these tomatoes at them. Fine. I'm not telling you you're wrong for doing that. But I tell you one thing, they won't get a follow from me. And if they had a follow, whoever saw this, if you want them to do better, continue to follow them. If you like, this is you cross the line, unfollow them. And don't post it up to try to shame them. Go post the people who did it right. But that's Herschel's take. That's what I would do.
Yeah. I don't follow the griot. I stopped following the griot years ago. They've been through some nonsense. But anyway, so yeah, shout out to Stephanie Williams for doing her thing. And shame on y'all, griot, for screwing it up because, people that follow the griot, they may not follow comics or whatever, but they do look to you guys to give them information that they can use and information that will inform them about what's happening in various different spaces. So please, 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 get it right. Shout out to DJ Big Phil. He says, I feel that a lot of these posts online are AI generated. This is why we have some unnecessary mistakes, but we should point out who does it wrong. Yeah, we have to, and that's what we did. Yeah. We got it. So anyway, we're going to shift gears and we're going to get into some comic book-esque type stuff. The movie Supergirl. So I was off, and I was off Friday. And, man, when you don't have your family around you, life can be kind of boring. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get out the house. So I said, you know what? Let me find something to watch. And I have zero interest in going to see Supergirl. but it was a Friday. It was discount. It was matinee. I'm gonna go check it out. So I go to the movie. I check it out. It's cool for what it was. You know what I'm saying? I thought that it was okay, but can we start the clock on James Gunn's exit from DC?
I'll do you one better. I want everybody to hear me and hear me good. I know somebody like, oh, come on, man. You doing too much. Nah. Watch this. This the guy that y'all gonna beg and kick and scream and fight to do Static? If you've seen this movie, if you've seen the reviews, this is the guy you want to be in the room directing the traffic for Static right now. Now, I know for some of y'all love the Superman movie, thought it was amazing. The DC is back. Green Lantern could very well be a blockbuster. I know some people who like what's the other TV show he had with the guy with the big bullet head, John Cena. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't watch it.
What about Peacemaker?
Peacemaker. People love that. But I'm just asking a question. Now, this is his with DC. Can we consider this his strike one?
I think so. Yeah, I do. And you know, a lot of people didn't like Superman. I thought Superman was okay, but you know, Henry Cavill was my Superman for this, in my humble opinion. This generation Henry Cavill should still be the guy, in my opinion. But they went in a different direction, and I thought the movie was okay. We got the introduction of Mr. Terrific. You know what I'm saying? I even like Guy Gardner in Superman, but I don't necessarily think that James Gunn is the answer. Now, I will say there is a movie coming out in October, I think, Clayface. So he got that coming up, and you know that it's supposed to be a horror movie. So I don't know if that's going to be any good or whatever. But I mean, to me, Supergirl was okay for what it was, and it's clear to me that James Gunn thinks of certain characters very, very dark. And I'm just, you know, the whole thing with the Superman or the House of L, I'll say like that. The House of L historically has been, you know, light. And even when the heavy stuff comes to Superman or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Superman got beat up majority of the movie. So it's kind of like, you know, he's supposed to be Superman. He's not supposed to be taking these L's, but he got beat up most of the movie. Now,
so what movie have you ever seen him in? Him just walking through like nothing. Come on, man. All Christopher Reeves, he was getting smashed by everybody. The guy from Superman Returns.
Herschel, just not too often. That's all I'm saying.
I look. I'm praying for the sake of my algorithm, because I don't want to see the crying and whining. I am praying that Green Lantern is at minimum solid, a little bit more than decent. And then I don't care about Clayface. I don't care about any of those side characters. I'm not going to be on the internet pretending like, oh, they messed it up and he's such a dope. And I don't ever talk about Clay. Don't own not one Clayface book. I'm not going to be that guy. So as long as he gets that right, we can spin it again and see what else he got going on. But Supergirl, from what I haven't seen it, don't have a desire to watch it. From what I've been hearing, nah, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. I feel like the story of it. Well, I thought the pacing of it was okay. I thought the pacing of it could have been better. We could have got a MO as to why she was the way she is. Because you remember her introduction into this universe is her showing up to pick up crypto.
It was sloppy. It was sloppy.
Yeah.
He should have actually been in the darn Superman movie so we can like kind of like her a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's been the thing. The PR has been not the best.
She's been saying some wild stuff. She's been saying some wild stuff, and we have to understand. We can be like, "Oh, the base, the DC, these fanboys are racist and this and that." You say what you want to say, but that's the majority of the fan base. Not saying they right, but I'm just saying that's the majority of the fan base. And I'm gonna be honest with you too. Aesthetically, she got attacked too for her looks. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I think that the movie in and of itself, for what it was okay. I want to first shout out to the chat, everybody that just joined. I want to thank my man Chocolate. Chocolate is, I guess he's doing a whatnot show right now. He's been having
he's sending everybody over here
to send us or whatever. So thank you guys. Shout out to Chocolate doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? You can sell, that dude can sell water to a whale. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the BCL crew doing their thing. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for letting us know that while you willing and dealing, thinking about your bros over here at Black Comic Lord. So appreciate it. I gotta watch this. Is it the director that is the issue, or is it the script that is the issue? I'm gonna be. I will say that it could be a combination of both. But however, I will just simply say that they really did two things. They didn't really promote this movie like they should have. But because it's so dark and grim, or gritty or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the aesthetic of it. You know, I mean, for the most part, you have a whole girls love superheroes. They love Wonder Woman. You could literally have them fall in love with Supergirl, but you really didn't do that. You made her this troubled character, and so it's like, how are they going to aspire to her when her story arc is one that's very, very dark? And then the other part, there's a character in the story that she's kind of like mentoring in a sense, or she's kind of like helping along this journey, who's on a revenge kick. So again, this is kind of like, you don't want little girls to experience.
Bro, little girls ain't going here to watch this movie.
No,
this ain't the 80s no more, bro. They're not. You have nothing to worry about. The little girls are watching Dragon, well, not Dragon, Demon Slayer. My daughter, but that's what they own. They ain't on no super who? No, they don't worry about it. It's the adults. It's the adults that you have to worry about. And let me ask you a weird question that nobody wants to ask.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the money would have been looking like for this movie if she was a black woman? And they would have keep the same story, keep Lobo, and something else too. Y'all books, that Lobo book, all y'all Supergirl books, I have a Lobo #1, first person Lobo over there, whatever. You might well, if you're trying to invest in that book, James Gunn is killing a lot of these books. I want to tell you that as well. A lot of y'all collection is just deep. So some of y'all, if y'all try to get out, it's time to get out because some of these books. I would say definitely hold on to Mr. Terrific for a little while, but if he got a TV show coming out, that we'll talk about that later. But let's go back. What would have been the difference if she would have been black?
I think that it would have been, we would have promoted it. But I think that the response would have been, if you keep in the same story.
Keep in mind that she's not a black Supergirl, isn't a race swap Supergirl. Because there is a Supergirl on Earth D. Check out blackcomiclords.com.net and type in Supergirl. There's an original Supergirl in Earth D, Crisis of the Infinite Earth, from 1999. I've been talking about that book for like 2 or 3 years. I got like 2 copies. So this ain't no race swap.
No, it's not a race swap at all. I think but that's the thing about cats not being informed or whatever. And the situation with continuity is continuity is in a big mess right now. You talk about books. You talk about what's going on in the speculation market or whatever. Speculation market is being killed by what's going on with continuity in comics. It's unfortunate, but to your point, nobody's thinking about that particular book because to them, it's not continuity, even though it is. It's not the same quote unquote world or the main world, so to speak, but though that book exists, there is a black Supergirl. But I would like to think that if they did that, that the promo would have been a lot better. The lady, like I said, she said a lot of wild stuff in interviews, and she really did not know her cause or whatever. But they didn't promote this film for white people in the right way or whatever. I think they tried to kind of do some things through some of the music in the movie from that direction, but at the same time, it's kind of like, this is not adding up. It's not matching. So it flopped, and unfortunately, it will probably be in the streaming services sooner than later.
Listen, at this point, I kind of want to see Batgirl, but I digress. Because it can't be, Batgirl can't be worse than this. But oh well.
Hey, they pulled that whole movie. That movie was getting ready to come out. They're like, nope.
Hey, real quick, I know we gotta move on. Was Supergirl worse than Birds of Prey? Damn, never mind. You gotta think about it. You gotta think about it. Next slide. Keep it pushing.
I like Harley Quinn. So I'm not really tripping. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I said I thought I had to pause a minute or whatever, like, well, but I like Margot Robbie though, you know what I'm saying, as Harley Quinn. So the lady that's playing Supergirl, I don't necessarily know that I like the Supergirl from Shenanigans.
Oh.
I like that Supergirl.
Yes, and they should have hired her for this.
I mean, say what you want about the Snyderverse or whatever, but that was some good stuff that came out of that, And they killed Henry Cavill for that. But anyway, let's move on. So another show, or speaking of other shows, X-Men 97, season 2. We back, y'all. And once again, shout out to Bo DeMaio, who
he had stuff ready to go. He was
locked and loaded. He was locked and loaded. First 3 episodes were fire. I'm not mad at it. I will say that they could have used Brown number 5 for Ivan Su. They made him a white man, Herschel. So
no. They didn't. He was a little pale. We don't really even know. Listen, we really don't even know.
Yeah, but I mean, is he albino or is he just?
Well, he's a mutant, so he's got. Here's the thing, though. We've seen depictions back in the day of Egyptians being white in movies, and then we go and dust off the hieroglyphics and look at different things. Oh, they were all black. They were all soul brothers. We really don't know. We know that they were in Africa and they wasn't white. We know that much.
Off the space and off them statues, Herschel?
Huh?
Why they shoot the nose off of them statues?
Go do your research, man. I'm not listen. Apocalypse is always welcome in BCL until further notice. But when I'll say this.
And shout out to my bad.
When Marvel leans into black covers, do they really throw Apocalypse in there with the rest of us?
No, not at all.
I'm just saying. Also, when they throw in black covers, they'll throw Icon in there. But when they throw in Martian Manhunter, not at all. So I always like Miles is on Hispanic covers, Hispanic month covers. He on the black covers. Guess what? When they do black stuff or blackity black covers, do you see your boy Sunspot hanging out with T'Challa, Storm, and Bishop and Miles? He's black, but Marvel kind of like, go over there with the Hispanics. So we really don't know. But guess what? I ain't gonna fight you on it.
No,
I ain't gonna argue with nobody on it.
I don't necessarily think that's the real to die on. But shout out to Tom Revort said that there are no viable black X-Men. Uh, you know, and
Listen, don't you get me started. I listen. If there's viable X-Men, this Bishop miniseries, I said the miniseries, is out right now.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty good. How many people under the sound of my voice in the chat pre-ordered that book? Because if the answer out of the 39 people that's watching us on YouTube, only 5 people, maybe there's something there. I think Bishop is an amazing character, but valuable might mean sales, comic book sales wise. Who's pre-ordering that Bishop miniseries book? Or we'll just wait till he gets an ongoing series. Did Storm show up in this run? Okay, well I'll wait till Storm or somebody better is in there. What's the excuse?
I mean, listen. Issue of the Bishop book was dope. I was pleasantly surprised.
Me and you were not like high on the hog with Bishop, right?
No, wasn't.
Like, that
Bishop War College book was trash.
It was trash.
And shout out to Paul, because Paul was the one that pointed out that this is the same guy that wrote the Night Thrasher book. So
next slide. I don't even want to talk about Night Thrasher. Was okay. Let me stop. I'm on BCL live. Let me.
I mean, look. I said I was just gonna buy. I was gonna get the pre-order the Scotty Young variant, which is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I enjoyed it. I was like, you know what? I can get with this. But the rest of that stuff, oh man, I'm not gonna pretend like a lot of people were high on the hog when it came to Bishop, because again, based on what they've been doing with Bishop for the last few years or so, it was rocky. So yeah. Shout out to Super Chat. He says Bishop was black, African American, but Marvel allowed Claremont to retcon him into being Aboriginal, which are not black. They are, you said Asian?
I don't know about Asian, my friend. Now, Google's free. I need to go pull up my phone. I don't know about no Asian.
Elijah Muhammad might Asiatic original man, Asiatic.
I don't want you to take your $5 back, buddy. So I ain't gonna say nothing of that. I ain't gonna push back because I want to keep the $5. But I don't know about Asian. But there has been a lot of disputes about Aboriginal people being really being black. But historically, they did leave from Africa, just like white folks. It's like everybody left from Africa and spread out to the other continents. So, but we were talking about Apocalypse and X-Men. So let's get back to it. I enjoyed it.
The show has been dope. I like the direction they kind of took it. You know what I'm saying? They got Gully. I should say Cable got Gully. We already had one dude get. That shit, we smoking on that war pack. So he just like, man, who was it? It was Jubilee that said, we don't do that. We're the X-Men. Like, nah, I don't do that.
Hey, and they blew his brains out. Spoiler alert, they blew his brains out. And probably Archangel was all about that. Because he was like, well, honestly, they should have blew his brains out too, since you was sitting over there with Pestilence, the whole 9. All right, but we're going to act like that didn't happen. But that's a story for another day.
So anyway, I hope you guys have caught up. And it's 3 episodes is out, so y'all go check that out. Yeah. So Kevin Pitt said, I wasn't expecting the body drop. Yeah, man. They're not playing. Bo DeMaio, I don't know what happened with Marvel, but they should try to get that dude back. Because I'm like, man, they need to keep that going. They need to keep that going. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do after this season, but yeah.
Listen, if they bring back if they bring him back, you got a recast coming too. That's what it would take. It would literally take that. Because, bro, the amount, you would never shut him up in the editing room. He would be talking so much trash to Marvel and online. It's beyond bad PR now. I think he'd do a great job, but you would never, like, he would rip Marvel. That's right. And I'm making double my salary when I left. Like, it would be, he would go ham.
Yeah, they would have to back up the Brinks truck to get him back on. So,
oh my God.
Nah. Shout out to the chat. We're gonna let y'all fight. We're gonna let y'all fight in the chat about who's Asian and who's black.
Who's Asian, who's not. Can we bring Dr. Umar in on the chat? That'll solve all this.
Anyway, so we got to get to some comic book talk. I've been gone a while, and so I want to kind of talk about some books that I kind of copped while I've been gone, or whatever. And one particular publisher that I want to kind of talk about tonight a little bit. Shout out to Evolution, or I don't know his publishing, Evolution or whatever it is. Anyway, there's a cat in our space named Marcel Dupree, who owns Illusion or Evolution Publishing. And this is one of the most popular books that you've probably seen in our space. This particular book here is called Warbound. This is Warbound issue number 1. So I was doing some hunting, and I wound up running into a bunch of his books, and I picked them up. So I got that one, of course. I got issue 2 coming to the house because I thought this was pretty good. So I ordered that book, and then I had this book here, Young Rebels. This is a variant cover for issue number 1. And what I like about Marcel Dupree's comic books is that what he will do is he will give you a secondary story, or he'll give you an introduction to a book that's coming out, that he got coming out. So he's real good about that. One of the first books I ever owned by Marcel Dupree, Evolution Publishing, is this book here, Galaxy Heirs.
I remember when he was kickstarting that one.
Yeah, and this book, this is a nice book. This is a nice book. Got some good reading in it. Good writing in it. I'm sorry. Arts are pretty amazing as well. And this dude don't just do quote unquote black books. Now, he's real active in social media, and he got strong opinions.
Understatement.
He got strong opinions. I'm not here for his opinions. I'm here for the comments. But I got to give him props because, dude's a publisher, and, he actions speak louder than words, and he don't just talk, he walks it. This is a particular book. This book here, Deal Breaker, he co-wrote. This is a pretty good kind of, crime book. So he does science fiction, he does crime book, he does fantasy stuff.
What's the name of his company?
Evolution. It's spelled EVOLUZION.
Yeah, well, he need to fix
you
that.
can kind of zoom in.
Yeah, he need to fix that.
And I would tell you, I would send you to his website, but the website's not really popular. So your best bet is to go to Instagram. Find Evolution on Instagram, and some of this stuff will come up. But he's got this. One of my favorite books that he has is this book right here. It's called Armor. Let's see. Yeah, this is issue number 1. And, issue number 2. And here's one for issue number 3. This is a pretty good story. He's an accomplished writer. And, I got to give my man his props. I enjoyed all of those books. And so because I enjoyed all of those books, I tried to go and order some more of this stuff. You know, the Warbound book was a book that was on Kickstarter, is whatever. But I think Warbound has got like three or four issues, if I'm not mistaken. Collection way, which is from hey, look, bro. I don't know Evolution, and if I probably killed it. I don't. I'm trying to get my man some pub, but just go to Facebook and just type in Marcel Dupree.
Hey, he is he who trolls 2.0 though. However, you're not gonna like a lot of what he has to say, but you will say after you swipe away, you'll be like, damn, he kind of got a point though. he'd be right on a lot of his takes though.
Look, listen. When you are a proponent of Black creativity and you don't particularly want Black people consuming art that's not theirs, people have a problem with that. And I'm not here to argue. You can cosplay who you want. Me and Herschel, we got this thing. If you're a Black person, you should try to find Black characters to cosplay. That's just our personal preference. It's not that we saying you shouldn't do this because that's Japanese character, whatever. No, we're just saying that if you manifest in this world as a Black person and your stories, your background, your culture matters, and you should want to express that to the world. Because oftentimes it looks funny to us that you out here cosplaying as a European, long flowing Black hair, and you know your hair that ain't your hair.
my stance is a little different. Cosplay whoever you want to cosplay as, but don't come up here and tell me, there's not a whole lot of Black characters cosplaying. Who? There's not a whole lot of what? There's tons of us. There's tons of Black characters to cosplay as. But you know as well as I do, you want to go as a cosplayer. I've cosplayed like twice in my whole life. But you want to go as a cosplayer and be what? Recognized. So people take pictures. So you go viral. But if you got to dare to be different and go as Icon and have somebody ask you, are you Shazam? Or I don't know who you are. You have to explain what universe you come from. That's discouraging. So then you'll just be like, I'll just cosplay as a popular character. And you have every right. However, there's more than enough Black characters, superhero or not, that you can put people on and walk around and be unique without looking like another version of somebody else that just walked by you. Like you walk in looking like Acolyte, you walk in looking like the original boy. I mean, with the whole suit and stuff, somebody gonna be like, yeah, they're gonna ask you 1,000 questions. You gotta tell them who Alonzo Washington is, the whole nine. I dare somebody to cosplay as Luna.
Oh, you know what? Here's the thing about that. I think that also it can serve as a conversation piece. If you're cosplaying as a Black character, the character might be obscure, and somebody just walks up to you, sees the costume or whatever, it's like, man, I dig that, but I don't know who that is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, be open to share what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. Because again, everybody doesn't know. And we are, if you're going to be, Paul says this thing about us. He says, we're the tastemakers. And that is very true. However, part of being a tastemaker is also educating, informing, and enlightening people. That's why Black Comic Laws exist. So we can inform, educate, enlighten, you know what I'm saying? And we're the know-it-alls, but we around a lot of people who do know. And so we should be in the business of expressing ourselves and not being afraid to share. Now, I do know that in some of these spaces, it is very anti-Black. It is what it is. However, we need to do a better job in creating safe spaces. Thank you for that. And shout out to Derek for putting the link as far as, identifying the publisher or whatever. Because like I said, I might be screwing up. That's on me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna grab this real quick. Keep going.
So, but I just want us to just really be proud of who we are and express that pride that we should have. So anyway, speaking of other publishers and writers or whatever, I want to shout out another creator, Jeff Carroll. Jeff Carroll has a book that is being published by Red 5 Comics, I think it is. It's called The Last Harlem Night. I'm sorry. The Last Harlem Night. And it's a 4-issue run. I think issues 1 and 2 have been in the stores. But I went to the website and ordered the last 2. And it's a pretty fun book. It's a dystopian book about, kind of like end of the world type stuff. And here these Black people surviving in, this end time era. And it's very, very hip hop oriented or whatever, So the art is in black and white. But shout out to Jeff Carroll, who is one of our, I would say, hidden gems in the community. Jeff Carroll has been, doing a lot of books. And the thing about Jeff Carroll is Jeff Carroll will put in things related to history in his books. So you can actually learn stuff and become informed about certain things. He references a particular book in this particular story. And so I'm going to tell y'all to go get it. I ain't going to, like Herschel always telling y'all to Google it. I'm going to tell y'all to go pick this up and be informed. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do some leg work. You know what I'm saying? We can't be afraid of the leg work. But, I've been up on Jeff Carroll for a long time. He had a comic book called The Twa Man, which was about the Black presence in Ireland. And that dude's dope, man. He's been in our community. He's an OG. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the last books he put out called The Last Harlem Night. So y'all go get that. All right? So yeah. Now, there have been a few books I picked up recently.
I got a book I want to show.
Go ahead.
Time. And it's bittersweet, and it's weird bittersweet. Is anybody familiar with Alex Simmons? No. So this book copped it on eBay. Blackjack.
Yeah, good book.
Yeah. Old heads know what this is. 1996. Alex Simmons, black writer, black artist who created this book. This is not his first copy. It's not his first appearance, but it's one of the, I think it's like the volume 2. But this is like Indiana Jones meets a black man in the 40s fighting against Hitler. Dope cover. This book used to be $70, $80.
Yes,
I got this last week for about $10 on eBay. Nobody's looking for it anymore. That's why I'm telling y'all, man. Keep waiting. A lot of these books, I hate to say it, a lot of these black books are dropping in value.
It's definitely a buyer's market. It's definitely
a buyer's market. I don't know if it's coming back because the way that we got a lot of these books to where they are is, hate it or love it, was a social justice movement. Everybody was going out and it was like, oh, we want to be black, buy these books. We saw Black Panther in the movie. A lot of stuff was going on. People was going out and buying a lot of these books. And now it's just the reverse. A lot of people are unloading a lot of these books. Some people are actually unloading them for cheap. So this book was, I want to say, highly sought after, but it was an $80 book about 5-6 years ago when COVID, this was like a COVID comic. Well, I don't want to call it a COVID comic. The price at the time was a COVID price. So Alex Simmons, he's in our space. So check that out.
No doubt. So speaking of books, I'll show, this is the Bishop book that I was talking about, the Scotty Young variant of Bishop, issue number 1. But there's a book that came out this past week. Shout out to all the Star Wars fans. Now, then wants to ask the question, says, does the Black comic book community have any experts who can appraise the values of predominantly Black collections? There are people in our space that can, I will say. Do they always do? Not really. Rico Jones has a Facebook crew called Buy, Sell, and Trade, and he champions a lot of black books from a historical lens, and he puts up sometimes cost or purchasing prices of books and what they've gone for. And I'm gonna be honest with you, some of these books are worth a lot of money, and some of these books are not worth the ink that they're printed on. But everything is about supply and demand. Some books are rare, and like my man Mike Carson likes to say, or not Mike Carson, Robert Fordham says that sometimes our definition of rare is not rare. There's some books that are very, very rare. Ghosts. I think that's one of the words that Herschel likes to use. A book that's a ghost might go for a ton of money. But you might be able to get on the eBay machine and, snatch something that ain't nobody looking for. But trust and believe, a lot of people be having their eBay settings on when these books go up. As soon as they go up, they're gone.
Tell me about Sister Girl. That was a book by O'Neill. Three of those books sold this year, and the last one sold for $249. The cheapest one I think sold for like $30 because somebody sniped. It wasn't online 2 minutes and somebody grabbed it.
Yep, because these are they're rare. I picked this up. This is funny. This is shout out to Sebastian. Sebastian, this is Untamed. This is Untamed issue 1.
$3.50. Come
yes,
on.
Sir. Yes, sir. Issue 1 of the Untamed. First appearance of Niobe.
Wait, out of the shop?
Hey, bro. When you know, you know, and when you don't, you don't. So anyway, but shout out to all the Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans, if you are a Star Wars fan, you know who this character is. And of course, this is, our man, 100 grand, Forrest Whitaker, but he plays the character in Star Wars Rogue One, Saw Gerrera. And this is cover A of the book. It's a pretty dope cover, but that came out. Great story too, by the way. So you guys might want to go pick that up. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was roasting people behind a Star Wars cover, and I had my reasons, but I could not ignore the fact that this has a ton of black Star Wars characters on it. So I had to pick it up.
But they put it on the Jar Jar cover.
They put it on the Jar Jar.
Got your ass. No. Put it on. Yeah, Jar Jar. Yeah, good job. Good move.
I hate it, but I was just like, you know what? Okay, Richard, stop tripping. Sometimes you will compromise your principles for the greater good. And it's a Jar Jar book. And I'm like, because I remember talking about it. I remember roasting people about it. Shout out to Moan. So I'm like, man, yeah, but I had to have it. Yeah, I was clowning. I was.
I mean, the same people clown about Miles being Thor and that whole debacle with that, and they still haven't bought it. And that book was going for about $100 for like 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then he fell off. But hey, here's what it is.
I knew I was one of the people that roasted. But here's a book. Shout out to Black Comic Lords. We do black books here, but we will do books when it comes to people of color. And this is one of my favorite books that came out. Actually, it was called The Beast of Boykin. And this is a book that's influenced it's basically a Puerto Rican book. And, in essence, it's a book about colonization and how they colonized the island. And shout out to, this is a Dark Horse comic. Y'all might want to pick this up. Real good story, The Beast of Boykin. So that's just a couple of books that I picked up this week. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff in the comic shop, to be honest, to go grab and get. But there was one book that came out recently. Shout out to anybody that's reading Spawn. Now I have dumped all my Spawn stuff in terms of it's not on my pull list. I'm not getting Spawn anymore. I don't get the Spawn. I used to get the Spawn, the King Spawn, the Scorch books, whatever. But I have been reading She Spawn. She Spawn issue number 3 came out recently. And the reason why I want to kind of talk about this book, because it's kind of funny. This is the story of She Spawn. This particular book is basically a book that is a book of the past. Jessica Priest kills Al Simmons in the continuity of Spawn. But in this particular story, this story takes place like 30 or 40 years ago. And she meets Al Simmons when he's a kid. And so she's been kind of assigned to kind of protect him because there are people who are gunning to try to kill him. But the irony is that she's the one that actually kind of is responsible. He's kind of responsible for her being Spawn, she's Spawn, and she's kind of responsible for him being Spawn. But in this particular book right there on that page, Image is so hilarious. The history of Image, and shout out to Paul and the Wednesday wrap up, because Paul talked about this, particularly with the guys who started Image Comics. The story of Image Comics is on this page of this book. They literally said in the comic book that a bunch of the best artists got together and started a company. And basically, Al Simmons is asking her in this particular story to take him. He wants to buy comics, and of course, there's Spawn on the shelf. Shadowhawk is on the shelf, and they make references to all the Image books and Spawn. Savage Dragon. It's a pretty cool little, geeky kind of thing. If you're an Image person, you know what I'm saying. You should want to go and get that. So out of Washington, they're trying to rehab the Jessica Priest character. Yes. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool book. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long it's going to go. I think it's only going to go 4 issues. This was issue 3. But it's been coming out kind of steady. It hadn't been one of those books that they'll put out and it'd be 2 or 3 months for the next issue come out. They've been putting out this book like regularly. So,
let me tell you something. Ask me how many Spawn comic books I have.
What's that?
Ask me how many Spawn comic books I have.
How many Spawn comic books?
I'm finna bust a whole hole in your tire.
You got one. You got one Spawn book.
0. I don't even have Spawn. I threw out my Spawn number. Bro. I had a how can I say this? Keep it PG. I don't like Spawn. I don't see how. Nah, we'll have to have this we'll have this conversation offline, and I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean, look,
you already know what I'm gonna say. Guess what?
People don't identify Spawn as a quote unquote black character. They do not lean into his.
No. This is not about race. It's about spirituality.
Well, that's a part of it too. I mean, in terms of it's definitely a character that is very, very, very evil, I would say. But I guess for me, I'm a fan of horror. I've always been a fan of horror for some reason. I'm kind of weird like that. So it doesn't necessarily bother me. Now, I do know that there was a time when Spawn got real sacrilegious. Spawn is an atheist, I want to say.
He is an atheist.
So he doesn't really, he can kind of write or say or imply certain things just because he doesn't have quote unquote moral ground that or compass that he kind of follows. So it is what it is. But overall, I like the character because of the story. You think about it. If you're in love with your wife and you get killed, and the devil comes to you and say, "Hey, I'll let you see your wife, but you got to be my general in my army for my army."
Can't do it.
It's like, Yep, sign me up. I don't care. I just want to see my wife. And of course, he's hidden in darkness for 5 years or whatever. And then at that time, his wife remarries, winds up marrying his best friend. It's jacked up. It's a crazy story. I know it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's really a love story. But it happens to have all the themes
How
in it.
can you be a force of good and you anti-God?
Bro.
It don't even make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's redemption. Or he flipped the script on the devil and he's a good guy now. Nope.
It's comics, Herschel. You know that.
Nope. Hey, listen, I feel the same way about my Strange Tales 169. Gave that up too. There's nothing good that can come from voodoo. Sorry. I said it on live. I said it on BCL.
There is, I put it like this. There are certain things that certain people write, and I don't want to, because I'm going to tell you somebody that Neil Gaiman is somebody that is a masterful writer. That dude can write. And Neil Gaiman's writing on American Gods, his writing on the Queen, all of that stuff has dark elements to it. Mm-hmm. But the writing is so incredible. It's kind of like, wow. And some people can digest that kind of stuff and it go along with them, and some people can't. So I respect it for sure.
Yeah.
If you can't rock with it.
Yeah. And I ain't telling nobody. Guess what? If somebody gonna get off this chat, say, he told us we can't watch. I ain't tell y'all what y'all can't do. I'm telling y'all. See, somebody still me. Say it one more time, Pastor. I ain't tell y'all what y'all can't do. I'll tell you what I ain't gonna do.
This is the book. Now, Kevin Greavy, some people know Kevin Greavy's a believer. And he wrote a Christian comic. And that's that book, this book right here. It's called Guardian Heroes. This is Kevin Greavy's Christian comic book. And, you know, it's people that write different things and they, you know, it is what it is. I wish there were more Christian themed comic books for us to go grab.
There are. There's actually with Gronk Comics. Most of his characters are Christian.
Black Cobra is getting ready to do a Kickstarter, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. There are guys that are doing it. I just would like to see, you know, not just him doing it, but other. And don't get me wrong, there are particular publishers that you can go, but you got to go hunt it down. You know what I'm saying, to find that kind of stuff. I have a lot of Christian themed comic books, Black Christian themed comic books in my collection. So it's out there, but you know what I'm saying.
Right beside Spawn and Brother. Watch out, man! Watch out! Move over! Don't touch me!
No. Anyway, so check this out. Marvel has, you know, DC's been taking a lot of heat, right? But Marvel ain't exactly been giving us a lot of black stuff either.
None.
So, and I'm gonna say this respectfully,
of course,
but DC is going to be more black than Marvel in the future. But I wanted to highlight some books that are coming out August and September. Just a few books from Marvel. So we got one book, Miles Morales. It's going to be written by Brian Edward Hill. That book actually starts in August, I want to say. The FOC already for this book is already passed. The FOC was June 29th. But the first book of this comes out August the 12th. So you can still quote-unquote pre-order it, but the final cutoff date for this is already passed. So you got to get that off the wall. Or you got to ask your shop to kind of add it or whatever. You know, they'll probably have plenty of copies for you to grab it off the wall. But the FOC for this book, issue 1 of Brian Edward Hill Spider-Man, is already passed. But that book comes out August the 12th. That's one book that's coming out. Now, this book I'm going to talk about next is X-Men United #7. X-Men United #7 is written by Eve Ewing, and the artist is Tiago Palma. This particular issue features Blade, and it's about him looking for his daughter Brielle Brooks. And as you can see, Blade and Logan on the cover. And this is something that Marvel has done more than one time. They always get into it. So, which is weird too, because I think that Logan's a part of the Midnight Suns as well. So that book is due to be released. The FOC on that book is August the 31st. So you got a lot of time to pre-order that book if you want.
Did the preview state that they're actually going to fight, or is this just a cover buy for certain people that just like Logan and Blade?
Well, it's going to be a cover buy. I'm going to be honest, but Eve Ewing is writing the book. Now, I don't know if she's writing the whole story arc, but this particular issue, her name is credited as the writer. So there's Eve Ewing's sister, you know what I'm saying? She's doing a thing. So
the same one that did Black Panther a couple years ago. Yeah, okay, just want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
She's the one that does our pre-order commercial. Oh. Yeah,
just want to make sure.
Dr. Eve Ewing. So we got that, and then here's something that is a little different. The manga verse, Marvel has a manga verse, and it's turning 25 years old. But one of their manga books that they're going to put out is a book called Iron Knight. This is a book about with Riri Williams in it. Riri Williams and Moon Knight. The book is called Iron Knight. The FOC on this particular book is August the 10th. And that book is to be released September the 9th. So those are a few books that are coming out for as Marvel is concerned.
Let me tell you something right now.
Yes, sir.
If this book is manga, this is a manga, right?
This is the Marvel manga verse. Yes.
If this will be black and white with the Japanese manga style artwork on the inside, it's gonna sell a lot.
I don't know if they're doing it like that though.
They probably won't, and they should. It's gonna sell a lot because that's what seems to pick up a lot of our radars, our antennas, when manga and anime, more than black comics. But that's a conversation for another day. But it will definitely pick up some steam. The fact that it's Ironheart though might be a hard sell because she's on the bottom and she's on her back right now. But we'll see what happens.
No doubt. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's Riri Williams, and I mean, you know, Riri is not in a book, I don't think, at this point. I didn't bring up the Black Panther and Namor one shot. I guess that's what it is. Shout out to the Black Panther fans. Marvel continues to do what Marvel does, unfortunately. I don't know if there's going to be a Black Panther book this year. But you know, this team up book with his enemy, because they're demons. You might not get it, Hersh, because the demon it's got demons in the book.
It might get canceled before it even show up.
So, you know, they're gonna be demons in Wakanda. And so, you know, hey, everybody invades Wakanda.
It used to be like that. You used to have you have to write in and get a letter sealed, signed before you can even have access. Now anybody can just walk in Wakanda, taking swords. You can just store them and just steal swords and whatever you want to do.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you know, but it's a one shot. I think that's coming out that they're doing. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna check it out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I want a Black Panther run. At this point, I would love it to be Cheryl Lynn Eaton. I did read something today where Brian Edward Hill was talking about what he was trying to do in the Ultimate Black Panther book, and he basically said that he couldn't. He left a lot of meat on the bone, if I can say it like that. He had to kind of shorten his run. That book went 24 issues. But
still a long run, but I mean, most of those Ultimate book runs was long.
Yeah.
They were almost vested.
Yeah, in the article, he kind of talked about it. He wanted to do a Black Panther kind of horror esque type book, which I thought was kind of intriguing. But you know, what I'm saying either way, he I thought he did a decent job on the Ultimate Universe book. Of course, that's the book that we talk about continuity. It doesn't count because it's not the 616. So Black Panther fans are still waiting for a new book. Yeah.
I tell you what, this Wednesday, Bill Foster's nephew is going to be reprise his role as Bill Foster, and they're going to do like a look back during the Civil War, because I guess he's going to want revenge or wants a reconciliation for how they did his uncle. So that drops this this Wednesday, Civil War book with Black Goliath on the cover, picking up Iron Man. So it looks dope. I'm a Black Goliath fan. I'm probably just one of 5 Black Goliath fans out there. So I'm gonna definitely go pick that up. I'll be there Wednesday early to grab it. Hopefully it's just not a bunch of fluff and a look back and just talking, and then the last 2 panels he picks up something and throws it. I don't need a bunch of dialogue and just read a novel. I want a action-packed story. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna thumb through it. I don't see that and put it right back on the shelf.
Yeah.
Save my $5.85.
Some characters you want just the action. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? I think Luke Cage is one of those characters. You know what? What's the point? If Blade is not hacking somebody up, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? If Charlie, putting the Panther claws on somebody or whatever, what's the point?
Charlie can kind of get a pass because he has so much past of doing all that. And right. So sometimes you just like to see T'Challa just talk cool. Oh, he said this. Oh, he just bought a half a nation. And people are into his talking points. But Luke Cage, I'm just not. Just punch somebody in the face, man. Hurry up. I'll put you back on the shelf, man.
I don't know, man. The situation with Marvel, what's going on with them when it comes to Black books or whatever. You know, I know a lot of people was hyping on DC, but y'all hadn't really been looking at Marvel. And I guess as long as Storm is in a book, nobody cares about anything else.
But she's basically out of a book now.
Well, out of her own book. She's still going to be in the X-Men books or whatever. I don't know. Why would they want to keep her? Why would they want to put her back on the shelf or put her in another quote-unquote X-Men book? It's crazy to me. I mean, I think Wolverine has like 4 or 5 books out there. Wolverine, and I get it, it's Wolverine, but Storm is just as popular, if not more popular, than Wolverine.
No.
She should at least have one book.
No, she's not more popular than Wolverine. Listen, in our bubble, in Black spaces, absolutely. Yeah. But as far as outside of this bubble, heck no. Wolverine got her. Wolverine got her.
JF he says, do y'all think that what's causing the souls of Black heroes to go down is because of so much story and not enough action? I think for some fans, that's what they want. They want action. And I'm not mad at it or whatever, but I'm not. Look, here's the thing. I like a Jonathan Hickman type of writer. If you got something dope to say, then say it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, certain characters don't necessarily need that. I mean, I'll give you an example. Swamp Thing is a dope character for DC. And Swamp Thing's Alan Moore's run is very introspective. And so the writing on that book is central to that character. But when it comes to like a character like Black Lightning or whatever, there's not a lot of introspection when it comes to Black Lightning. And I'm a Black Lightning guy, and I get frustrated because to me, if Black Lightning is in a comic book, he should be shocking somebody or punching somebody. But that's just me. But a lot of times he's not. A lot of times he's in a suit. A lot of times he's working for the Department of Education, working with Lex Luthor. he working for the system. I don't like my mans like that. I want my man suited and booted and ready to go. But some characters, They write these characters a certain way, and it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. Brandon Thomas, I thought did a good 6 issues for Black Lightning. It was a balance of relationship with his daughters and action, and it was cool for what it was. But a character like Luke Cage or a character like T'Challa or whatever, who can have that introspective, but there needs to be some action in the book to have fans that are fans of the character to be intrigued. People like to see action when they see panels of Black Panther. People like to see Black Panther killing somebody, or at least punching them.
Listen, we can't. I say this all the time ad nauseum. Listen, by your 4th page in 2026, there should be some type of physical conflict. I'm not reading a comic book to watch a soap opera. This isn't Marvel love stories where people. I don't need that dialogue. I just want to. I know, like, well, it's not just about. It's a build up, man. You gotta have subtext. You gotta have other. It's a build up. I get that, man. There's plenty of books like that in the 90s and early 2000s where you would open up a Fantastic Four book and it would just be Sue, Ben, and Johnny saying, we've been through so much together. And they just go on and on and on, and then nothing freaking happens. But let me get your $4 or $5 for this issue. That's basically a filler issue. Every issue back in the Bronze Age, there was something at stake. Yeah. Somebody damn near lost their lives. Somebody did lose their life. There was a battle. But they're hiring these people, and I'm call it what it is. They're hiring these people who probably wasn't really comic heads. They thumbed through a couple of books, got a job at Marvel, and here we are. Because these are the type of stories that they're writing. So I don't know, man. So he asked a great question about why some of the Black characters are waning. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's waning for several different reasons. A lot of characters were never designed to do more than what they were doing in the 70s. Luke Cage was designed to do exactly what they tried to modernize. They gave him a wife and a child, which you never see with him, hardly ever. That story needs to be built upon, but it's like, it's an interracial couple. How do we balance that? Are we going to make Black people angry? It's so much, it's a lot of dichotomy to all this stuff. And I think the previous writers set this stuff up, but the new writers came in and they don't really know what to do with a lot of these characters. So they just do a lot of story with no action. I think we've kind of lost our way. And I also think, this is a big fat chunk of it, is that white writers really believe that, well, if he's Black, he's got to have a struggle. There's got to be some oppression. There's got to be racism. There's got to be some type of agenda. He just can't be a hero because Black people just can't be Black. You just can't have a Black guy with a wife and kids without him going through a struggle. You can't have a Black businessman that's in New York City just killing it, doing well without some struggle. Whereas white people, they can have a struggle or not have a struggle. With Black people, that has to be somewhere around there, and they lean into it way too much to where it takes away from the story because it's not realistic or it's a part of who that character is versus a part of what that character is experiencing. And it used to be, now that's always kind of been in comics, but now it's just like they've turned the volume all the way up to 10. And even hoteps are complaining about how crazy some of these books are as far as the Black experience, because it's not like that day in and day out. Maybe every 10 issues, he deals with something like that, but not every single episode, every single page turn. There's some racist boogeyman that's coming at them. It almost dilutes the actual Black experience. And so that's another big problem that's going on.
You know what, though? I think that what they do, though, is they compensate that with covers. And
you're doing that.
You know, and it's I'm a sucker for a dope cover, bro. I will buy a book. I have no problem buying a book and not even open it if I think the cover is amazing. Now I'm a story guy first and foremost, but
we all are.
You know, but I think that a cover, you know, something about a cover that is like, you know what, man, I need that in my collection. it's just weird, man, because I think that's what's happened. A lot of books are being sold, by covers, and I like candy shop stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think that covers they have their place, but at the same time, it's like, man, where is the story or the action? Back you talk about, you cited the 80s and the 90s or whatever. These books are like 22 pages now, 15 pages now. They thin. So there's not a lot of action. There's not a lot
more money. More money.
Well,
and guess what? Those dope covers.
On newsprint, do something. But bro, I mean, I'm like.
But again, I digress on that point. That is where these Black indies should come in. That is because we will never get Tom, Johnny, Marvin, and them to think like that down at Marvel and DC. But the people at Concrete Comics, the people at Freestyle Comics, those are the people that are thinking about it now. But where is our energy? Where's our heart? Where's our treasures going to? It's going to force it. Yeah, that was a cover by. Is he even in that issue?
I'm not sure. I haven't read it. I told you.
But they got you. They got their money.
They got my money because I got this cover. This cover's amazing. It's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And, what am I supposed to do? I mean, hey, it's like I don't see him all the time, so I have to. Here's the Prowler cover. It's just this is the best thing. But how many Prowler covers do you see?
Yeah, you see by himself, not a ton, but you see him. Well, you see him quite a bit on that Miles run, that first Miles run.
Yeah. But I mean, so somebody said he brings up the center holes. Yeah, the center holes would. Shout out to MD Bright. That was his last work that they're putting out with Larry Hama. That's been pretty good.
Did DC ever eulogize him? I thought
DC did one issue where they did, but Marvel did not. Which is unfortunate.
I don't think, and guess what? I promise you, I don't think it's because they said, "Nah, we don't want to do it." I don't think they knew.
Well, Paul, we interviewed what was it? Tom.
Oh, I remember. Never mind. I'm right.
We brought that up, and it was like, well, I guess they didn't know him. Like, well, I get y'all didn't know him, but I mean, at the same time, this is the guy that did a lot of art, a lot of books, a lot of Iron Man books. And I get it that, what I'm saying, Iron Man at that time may have not been a A-list character.
It don't even matter.
Iron Man.
There's some dudes that they've eulogized that I don't have none of their work in my. But guess what? But that's because when you think of Marvel Comics, the face of Marvel Comics artwork and writers are Black people, the white people, and the white people that's working there. They don't like. It's not even. It's even got probably even less to do with racism versus just their brain is just wired just to be white. Just like if you ask me, "Oh, play some music," I'm gonna put on D'Angelo. I'm not gonna put on the Beatles because my brain is wired to soul music. My brain is wired to hip hop. It's organically like that, and I think that's the problem we're running into. Going back to what I used to always say all the time, expecting black milk from white tits. And it's sad that MD Bright didn't get his flowers there. But what did I say even then? Where are the Black independent comics that were utilizing him in their books? Even if he never worked under your brand, he should have still been in your comic book. And that didn't happen.
Well, that thing part of that, people didn't know. People didn't know.
You said they didn't know. You got to use the same energy for Marvel and DC.
But unfortunately, that's why Black comic lawyers exist, because we're the ones, fair, unfair, indifferent, or whatever. We're the ones that are saying, hey, these are the Chuck Patton and all of these guys, these OGs, they deserve their flowers. They should be championed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? These white companies or these artists, and a lot of these artists do not know who came before them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, and it's not unfortunate, but a lot of people that are artists, they will cite Dennis Calvin. the GOAT, which is who he is, whatever.
It's fine, yeah.
People that we talked to that said, who's my influence? It's been Dennis Cowan. They don't say Billy Graham. They don't. But Billy Graham is the first one that that did Jungle Action.
Jungle Action, yeah, for Black Panther, yeah. But and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a lack of knowledge of a lot of these Black artists and writers. And I'm not. That's why I'm not going to sit up here and hold Marvel and DC to the knife, and we ain't do a damn thing. None one of these indie books. So I can't expect from the other man if my man ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. Hello, somebody.
And that goes back to what I said earlier about putting our feet, holding certain people's feet to the fire when it comes to our stuff. Because again, if I focusing all my energy on what Marvel and DC is doing, and then I'm allowing Black creators to just kind of skate by, they have to be responsible as well. It's like, okay, guys, we love what you're doing, but in doing what you're doing, we want you to also acknowledge the elders, the guys who came before you, that you have the platform, you have the ability to make bread and be notable. You got fame, you got fortune because of M.D. Bright, of Billy Graham, of Chuck Patton, of Larry Stroman. I think Larry Stroman right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think he just has some recent health issues, I want to say.
I randomly, because of X-Men 97, the X Factor was in there. I posted the X Factor picture, his picture, and then a comic book picture. And I just said thanks. Because I don't see a lot of Larry Stroman thanks pictures, especially for the X-Men stuff. People, Otis definitely wiped them down, took care of them. But these guys need to continuously get their flowers. And and God forbid something happens to Larry or any of these other guys, again, if y'all listen to me, you a Black independent, put them in your book. Eulogize these guys. Or as a matter of fact, forget about when they dead. Do it now. Ain't nobody gonna get mad if you put their face in your book and say, hey, I just want to give a shout. Even if they didn't even influence you, get these guys their flowers. I ain't got nothing to say to Marvel and DC. The indies need to be doing it right now. That's me.
The best hands are our hands, and that it is in a nutshell. Well, guys, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up, man. What you guys want before we get out of here? What y'all want to talk about? You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts? What you reading? What you think we should be reading? What you think we should be collecting?
What should we be reading? Facts.
People who talk about like Sanford Green. Sanford Green is, he is the man right now. He is. And rightfully so. That guy's got his style of art is amazing.
It's different. So different from anybody else.
And that's why, to me, that's why it's amazing. I think that's what made Dennis Cowan amazing. His style of art is different. It's like if you got a style of art that stands out, naturally, when people see it, they know it's you. And I think that's just a testament to his talent. Brian Freeze is another one, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, there are others that have done incredible pieces of art or whatever. Joshua Swaby, Crisscross. There's a ton of guys. But it's up to us. Our community has to be the one to say, hey, these are the goats. These are the cream of the crop. We should champion them.
Somebody said Spider-Man Noir TV series. I started watching it, but I have a hard time believing a 60-something-year-old man can be Spider-Man. So Nicolas Cage is. I might circle back to it, man, but
I don't have to circle back to it because I have not watched it. He said, "Did I pick up the Louisiana Kid?" Shout out to you. What's going on, bro? Did I pick up the last Shadow Man book? I have it, but I have not read it. I do have it here, but I have not read it yet. So it's been a lot of stuff that's just kind of been in the pile, so to speak. I just hadn't gotten to it.
What else is Hey,
brings up Daryl Banks. Yep, absolutely. There's another one.
Darren Banks is cold. Darren Banks don't be getting none of his flowers like he's supposed to, man. But again, a lot of the fans, these fans that be in social, in the comment section, they don't be researching these artists and writers like that. They're here for the activism, but they ain't here for the real people that be drawing, the real people that be writing and giving the flowers, man. I hopefully I won't, I'll be able to see that in my lifetime when fans do that more than all this other nonsense that I see in the comment section and these posts and stuff like that. But another conversation for another day. But yeah, Daryl is cold. What's the dude that did the Black Panther jacket? Somebody should have did more with that. You know what I'm talking about?
Chuck Patton?
Chuck Patton. Something else should have came with that. I don't know if it should have been a Marvel, especially at the time, because when that blew up, it blew up in Black Superheroes Forever. Mm-hmm. When that blew up, Marvel should have jumped on that and put out some limited edition, a green jacket, the green like the thing, a purple one, and they could have sold it for $500, and it would have sold out.
That was
sold out. That was a missed opportunity.
Definitely, that was I would say, an opportunity to do something because those jackets were popular in New York.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That was an opportunity missed.
And people within 24 hours started putting out like jackets. Well, they had the whole thing made up, and then I think some people even bought some of those jackets. He ain't get no royalties for that. But that was just dope, especially at the time.
Well, the industry is a shady space.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yo, we're gonna go ahead and shut this down, man. We're gonna get ready to go. But before we go, I want to remind you guys that our very own DJ Big Phil has a Kickstarter that is live. And in that Kickstarter, it is for the mission of Finding 52. What is Finding 52? That is the mission to find the original pages of Fantastic Four 52. Why is this such a big mission? You're talking about the original drawings of the most popular Black superhero in history of all times.
Yeah.
And so DJ Big Phil is going to get together with some of the crew, and they're going to visit different spaces, and they're going to try to hunt down these pages. This is a mission that my man has decided to take upon, and so he wants the support of the community to make this happen. So please go to Kickstarter and search Finding 52. It's only been live for a few days, but there are levels or tiers, I should say, of different rewards that you can get. And if you just want to, tuck in a few dollars, you can do that. You can go as low as $1. I think that the lowest tier is like $10 though, to be honest. But it goes up to like maybe 5,000. So everybody's covered in terms of amount of money that you can, support this particular endeavor. This is a labor of love, and we always want nice things, and always want history, and always want the bells and whistles that go with something like this, but we don't necessarily want to dig in our pockets to help. So DJ Big Phil is doing amazing work, and with Collections in Black, he has already been to several different places around the country, showcasing original art, and this is just the next step for him in his mission to bring comic book art, Black comic book art, Black characters in regards to comic book art to the mainstream. This community is a niche within a niche within a niche. And he is trying to make this thing beyond that. And trust and believe, if he finds these pages,
it's over.
It's going to be historic.
It's over. Y'all
Yep.
better listen. If he finds this page, which we know one thing we know, it's on this planet. Whether it's tucked away, lost in somebody's collection, and that he died and their kids got it, but they don't know that it's in there. Yeah, it could be the bottom of a landfill, or somebody could very well have it and been watching this damn Kickstarter. Could be knowing that Philip was looking for it. It could pop out and say, "Hey, man, I've had it. I've been watching your work. I respect what you're trying to do. I can't sell it, but I can definitely let you come and take a look at it." That would be amazing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know people say a lot of wild stuff on this show, a lot of wild stuff on social media. If Philip finds this, just even a half of the damn page, we'll start with that. Or it'd be clean, it'd be in mint condition or rough condition. The mere fact that you guys were a part of this process by supporting him financially, getting it, and he finds it, this will be the greatest discovery in Black comic book history, even over all Negro comics, because that wasn't hidden. This original art has never been, like, nobody knows where it's at. And in Black Panther came out April 1966. They probably started working on this back in 1965. We're talking 61-year-old document of a Black character. It's gonna be a battle, but I'm sure Philip is up to the task to do it. And he'll be the first person that'll probably be exhausting all resources he has in an attempt to do it. I hope he finds it, because when he does, the internet's gonna go crazy. He's gonna need security he's gonna need a presidential security if he is even able to obtain it for himself. He's gonna have to get rid of it right away. Put in the briefcase with like what's that thing? Handcuffs or something, bro. It's gonna be crazy if he finds this. I mean, and Marvel is gonna stop what they're doing. I'm gonna tell you the last thing, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Marvel, mark my word, Marvel Comics will stop whatever they're doing, and they're gonna go find him. Because I'm gonna tell you something, they gotta want this piece from him. So that's another thing too. So he's gonna need presidential security if he's able to find this. Well, good luck, man. God bless him.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's Jack Kirby. It's one of Jack Kirby's finest creations.
Yeah.
And the Kirby family doesn't even know where it is. And there got to be people in the Kirby Foundation or whatever that's scratching their head themselves. It's like there are lots of Kirby pieces that are, treasured and valued or whatever. But this is one of the ones that he helped create. In matter of fact, some say he did. And Stan Lee was just kind of along for the ride, but that's for another show. Suffice to say that this is a prize. This is a grail. This is, the creme de la creme. And so finding 52 is going to be an amazing journey. If you want to be a part of history, go to the Kickstarter link. We just put it up, and support this endeavor to make history. And when it's all said and done, if these pages are found, if these pages are discovered, Black comic lords and the Black comic book community are going to be blessed.
Yeah.
I promise you. Because nobody was looking for these pages. And we have one of our own looking for them. And trust and believe, if there was some people out there that had an interest to do this that didn't look like Phil or look like me and you, Herschel, this would have got funded in two seconds.
Listen, you have a better chance of finding Nemo. So if he finds this, listen, we might have to shut down the page. We might have to shut down all operations, bro, and funnel all of our time and resources towards this. And best believe, if Philip ends up in Timbuktu and he's got it, Paul's gonna jump on the first thing smoking, high telling it all the way down there to just to be around it, bro. No, it's gonna be crazy.
Jonathan does big Phil. He does big things. Pittsburgh's finest, and one of our very own. So please support him. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get a benediction. The benediction comes from Psalm 37:3, which simply reads, "Trust in the Lord and do good. So they that dwell in the land, and verily shall thou be fed." From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich, along with Herschel. And until next time, we say peace. And I will say this, Louisiana Kid, I heard you ask me, am I going to be back next week? I cannot commit to that. I am committed to doing one show a month. However, if me, Herschel, whatever, we might do a pop-up show where we just jump on the mic and just run our mouth and talk about what you guys want to talk about. But, you know what I'm saying, if y'all create the demand, I'll try to be here. But until then, next time, we say,
well, hold on.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you this much. If James Gunn says he's going to do Static, we'll never be back. Okay? We have never. You can go ahead and just unsubscribe from BCL because we're done. We're done.
Yo, please, to Herschel's point, please like, share, subscribe. Until next time, we say peace. We see y'all. We out.